Hello everyone, Miss Meek here, and today we are going to talk about multiplicative relationships. Multiplicative relationships. So this goes along with additive relationships. So if you have not checked out my video on additive relationships, it's all about adding. Multiplicative is all about multiplying. Division also falls under multiplicative relationships because if you if you multiply by a fraction or a decimal, that is the same as dividing by a whole number. So again, multiplying by a half is the same as dividing by 2. And so that is why division also falls under multiplicative relationships, but it's all about multiplying. So our job today is going to be to write equations and determine, am I multiplying in them in order to get my outputs? So am I multiplying my inputs to get my outputs? So let's go ahead and take a look at these first ones. They gave us tables. So our job is to determine, am I multiplying in order to get those outputs? So let's take a look at this first one. What am I doing to 1 in order to get 5? Well, I could be adding 4, or I could be multiplying by 5 in this table. Remember, there's always two options, and we always want to check multiple pieces of our table to make sure that we're picking the correct option. So let's go ahead and see. If I add 4, is 2 plus 4 10? No, it is not. 2 plus 4 is not 10. However, if I multiply by 5, is 2 times 5 10? Yes, so I believe in this table I am multiplying by 5 in order to get my outputs. So let's write that equation. What am I doing to my x's? Well, I am taking them and I'm multiplying them times 5. And when I do that, it equals those bottom numbers are y's or our output. So there's my equation. So am I multiplying in this table? Yes, I am. So yes, the relationship is going to be multiplicative. And how do I know? Well, I know because you multiply the input by 5 to get the output. That's how I know. All right, let's do another one. Number 2 here, 1 and then a 4. So what am I doing to this 1 to make it a 4? Well, I could be multiplying by 4 or I could be adding 3. So let's determine which one it is. If I am multiplying by 4, 1 times 4 is 4. Is 2 times 4 5? No, it's not. It's 8. So I think I'm adding 3. Let's double check that though. 2 plus 3 is 5? Yes, it is. So let's write our equation. What am I doing to my x? I'm adding 3 to it. And when I do that, it equals those bottom row of numbers, our outputs, which we represent with a y in this table. So am I multiplying in this table? No, I am not. It's not multiplicative. Why is it not multiplicative? Because I am adding in this table. So I could say you are either not multiplying or you are adding to get the outputs. It's not multiplying. That is what we're looking for. They also can give us a graph, and so we'll have to take a graph and write the equation and figure out, am I multiplying or am I not? Remember, when they give us a graph, that our best first step is to make a table. These tables don't have to be fancy. They can be super simple, literally just a 3-column table with one column labeled X and another column labeled Y with one in between for us to write our rule. I'm going to take these points off this graph. So when X, remember these are your X's and these are your Y's. When X is 1, Y is 2. When X is 2, Y is 3 because it's in between 2 and 4. And then when X is 3, Y is 4. So let's figure out what's happening in this table. How do I get this 1 to equal this 2? Well, I'm either multiplying by 2 or I'm adding 1. So let's check the next one. If I'm multiplying by 2, 2 times 2 is 4, but it's supposed to equal a 3. So I don't think I'm multiplying. I think I may be adding 1. So let's check that out. Let's see if I'm adding 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. That works. 3 plus 1 is 4. Yeah, I'm taking my x's and I'm adding 1 to them. So let's write that as an equation. What am I doing to x? I'm adding 1 to it, and when I do that, it equals our y's. So am I multiplying in this graph, in this table? No, I am not. So no, it's not multiplicative. How do I know? Because I'm not multiplying. And honestly, that can be your explanation. You could say it's not multiplying, it's adding. Okay, so I could say what could I say? I could say you add to get the outputs. And I want to multiply. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for multiplying, and that's not what's happening. Let's take a look at number 2 here. Again, best first step is to make a table. It's really difficult to figure out an equation from a graph by just looking at it. It's very, very tricky to do. So let's go ahead and write this down. Remember, these are your x's. So when x is 1, y is a 2. Okay. When x is 2, y is a 4. And when x is 3, y is a 6. Okay, so again, I could be adding 1 like the previous table, but 2 plus 1 is 3, and I get a 4 there. So I think I might actually be multiplying in this one. Let's check it out. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. So yes, I am taking my x's, and I am multiplying them times 2. So again, when we write our equation, what is happening to x? I'm multiplying it times 2, and when I do that, it equals my y's. So am I multiplying in this graph? Am I multiplying in this table? Yes, I am. So yes, it is going to be multiplicative. And my reasoning is you multiply the input by 2 to get the output there. All right, awesome. Well, I hope this clarifies and helps you understand the difference between multiplicative and additive relationships. Multiplicative is all about multiplying. So that's what we were looking for in these tables and these graphs was I multiplying to get my outputs. All right, well, I hope, again, like this clears up any confusion that you may have about multiplicative relationships. I will talk to you later. Bye.